because you're making my case as to how we need to stop villainizing. Is that a word? Oh, well. We have to stop villainizing. We have to stop villainizing the Chiefs because all you're doing as a fan base, and I'll talk about the Broncos fan base.
And I got breaking news about our show here in 1 second.
Could have a status report.
Can't. It's unbelievable. This is unbelievable. You can't make this stuff up. Go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
So anyway, so I know what this news is. So you just all right. Get the news out. Get the news out. Then I'll circle back.
We just got a text message on our group chat from the one and the only, the TV guy himself,
TV star,
Mark Schlereth.
Yeah, the king is here.
I'm going to be a little bit late. We got to film a couple of promos.
Wow.
Big deal.
Promo guy.
Does this, you know what this means? We have to downgrade him to questionable.
Yeah. It might be doubtful.
No. I'm not going to go to doubtful. I'm going to go questionable now.
Okay.
He's been downgraded from probable to questionable.
Okay, that's
so
fair.
I still think he shows. Okay, but I mean,
is he going to show at halftime? I mean, he already is playing a half a game. So he's going to come in the fourth quarter? I mean, at a certain point, you just say, hey, it's not worth it today.
Oh, wow.
It's not worth it. We got a good flow going.
We do have a good
Show's
flow going.
Good.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
If you're not here by, what would we say, 9 o'clock, then I think, you know what? How about this? If he's not ready to go by 9, okay, then we just tell him we're good for today.
Oh.
How about that? How about that?
Are we benching him?
Yeah.
Damn!
Because
wow,
it's a little bit rude.
It's a little harsh.
Okay, well, I just want to throw this out there.
Okay.
It's a little bit rude. Okay.
Rude.
Yes, that we find out he's not going to, because we plan a show, right? Plan a show, and that he's going to be here for 2 hours. Well, 1:50, 1 hour 50, 8:10. And then he last second says, "Hey, promo video. Sorry guys, I'm going to be late." And so he puts us at an inconvenience, and so it's like, okay, well, we'll give you an hour to do your promos, and if you're not ready to go by 9, then hey, guess what? We're good for today. You go ahead and enjoy Times Square or Central Park, buddy.
Wow.
Go take you a little walk.
Speaking of people who don't show up for work, I saw this stat over the weekend. Stink will be here. Don't worry about it. I got you back, Stink. But you are downgraded to questionable. So Joel Embiid recently missed his 400th NBA game, okay? But he's been paid while missing those games. Guess how much money he has made while sitting out 400 basketball games?
Wow.
You're going to be sick.
$125 million.
Bang! You nailed it.
What?
120, almost 126 million, basically $126 million he's been paid while sitting out on the bench 400 NBA games.
How about that?
Wow.
How about that guess?
Does that make
Good for you, bud.
Wow.
That's stealing. That's what we used to call guys.
Stealing.
That's what we used to call guys that, well, or guys that got paid and just didn't do anything. He's stealing.
He's stealing. Wow.
Stealing without a
dude.
Stealing without a mask.
Right.
No mask.
At least
highway robbery.
At least wearing the mask when you walk up to the pay window, right?
Don't need to.
Just when they hand out the checks. I know they don't hand out checks. I know that, but
they used to.
You should have a mask on.
We used to have a person in there on Mondays. It was Mondays or Tuesdays. Mondays. Had your check for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could direct deposit if you wanted, but
I mean, this is like the days of the old train robbers,
Yeah.
right? I mean, he's just like galloping up on a horse with a mask on. Give me your loot. Are you kidding me? $126 million?
That's unbelievable.
Wow.
It's
wow.
Gotten, and it's gotten, but it hadn't gotten better. It's gotten worse this year. With him talking about not playing back-to-backs anymore the rest of his career, and then just totally no-showing the whole year.
Sat out both games against Nikola Jokic.
Yeah. I mean,
wow. All right. Anyway.
Whatever. That's not our problem.
We're not going to put Mark in that class.
No, not at all.
No,
not at all.
no.
But there is a standard that he's going to have to still live by, even though he's part-timer. He's part-timer. There's still a standard that he has to, live by if he wants to be
Don't
a
worry,
part of this show.
Stink.
Stink.
Oh, wow. Wait, real quick, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
That stunk right there, that was from a Kansas City radio show. I thought they were going to be doing a segment on Mark like every week.
Yeah, we'll have to
see if we have a new one.
Johnny will go to work on that. Not for today, Johnny.
Not today.
You got a lot on your plate right now. I can see you're really stressed back there. Okay, so we'll have Mark on here in just a second. But I want to go back to what we were talking about with the Chiefs as to you were making my point earlier. Is that what I've been saying is that instead of villainizing the Chiefs, and this isn't me rooting for the Chiefs. I want to make the clear distinction here. There's a big difference, okay? I want the Chiefs to lose desperately. I do not want the Kansas City Chiefs, of all people, to be the first team to ever win 3 straight Super Bowls. I do not want it, okay? But I have to be fair here. I don't like the increasing talk about how everything the Chiefs do is rigged by the NFL. I think that's a disservice to the Chiefs, and I think it's also kind of a lazy, convenient excuse for fan bases to use to explain away their own team's inability to reach that standard, to match that standard. I think it's lazy of Buffalo fans to make the argument that, oh, we got cheated. No, you didn't get cheated. You had plenty of opportunities to make plays. Maybe if you could run an effective quarterback sneak, and not leave it to chance like you did, maybe this isn't even an issue. But here in Denver, I think that if you get too consumed with the idea of, well, everything the Chiefs is doing is rigged by the NFL, I think you are overlooking what the Chiefs do and understand what you as a Bronco fan have to root for your team and the pressure you need and the standard you need to hold your team to when it comes to matching the Chiefs. I think we're seeing too many people fall into a very, very convenient trap of just dismissing what the Chiefs do as being rigged, and I think that's, you do so at your own peril.
But that's what we do as fans.
I
right?
think we've gone too far with it.
I don't think so. Now look, the Chiefs take advantage of those situations that they've been gifted and given, right? They do. And you look at Buffalo. Does Buffalo fan base have anything to stand on when it comes to complaining about the refs? I think they do, okay? I think two things can be true here at once, at the same time. Buffalo got hosed on a bunch of calls. They did. The spots, okay, you could say, hey, make sure you get it. I understand that. But guess what? If it's close, you can't give them a bad spot. They gave them a bad spot. Should have been a first down, right? And there was a lot of spots throughout the course of that game that Buffalo got the short end of the stick on. So that's just true. Can you complain about now saying that it's rigged? No one's telling the refs to cheat for Kansas City. Okay, that's not happening.
Well, you got plenty of fans out there who believe that is indeed the case.
And if they want to believe that, okay, that's fine. I'm not going to say that, hey, don't feel that way at all, because you look at some of these calls and how they've gone, and they seem like they consistently do help the Chiefs. And if you want to complain about that and say that's why you lost, that's probably not the case, but I'm not going to hate on you for that. I'm not.
Well, we say good morning to our guy, Mark Schlereth.
Oh,
Mark.
So what were the promo videos and you're on time. I mean, you're not even that late. Did you just want to say, hey, I got promo videos, guys, so I'll be late. I got to do promos.
Listen, you know what? I just do what they tell me to do. There were a couple of quick, minute-long videos that we did for social media. I didn't know how long they were going to be.
Okay.
Because I come see. Normally, what happens is after the show, there's an after-the-show meeting. I don't go to it. I come running up here as fast as my little feet will carry me, so that I can spend time with the two of you, because I like you guys so much. And I also know that it's just going to be important because my wife read me the weather report. Let me see what Stoke is wearing there. It does look like Stoke. Yes, she did tell me it was going to be in the 60s. She did. And I was like, oh, you know what that means, honey. You know what that means, sweetheart? My man Stokes going to be ready to go play a little golf.
He's
after
blushing.
the show.
Stokes
And look at
blushing
it.
right now.
Yeah, look at it. You look good, Stoke. You can't. Hey,
I got a meeting. I got a meeting too. You're not
You
the only
can't-
one that has meetings.
Yeah, you can't hide money. Look at that. You can't hide money. You look good.
Oh, well, good to have you here.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
I was, when we found out that you were going to be a little late, we did downgrade you from probable to questionable. But Stoke wanted to rule you out. Stoke was giving you a Stoke was giving you a man. Stoke said you had to be here by 9, otherwise he was going to bench you.
Yeah, that was going to be the play. If you weren't here by 9, if your promos took more than an hour, we were going to put you on the bench today.
Yeah.
So glad you're here, though.
No.
Glad you're
here. Yeah.
Really glad
Glad
you're
to be here.
So,
glad to be here.
So I wanted to bring you up to speed with, I went up to the mountains for the weekend, and I came back breathing mountain air, and I had a fresh, different take on the Chiefs. Okay, I'm not rooting for the Chiefs this week. I desperately want the Chiefs to lose. Fly, Eagles, fly. E-G-L-E-S, Eagles, Eagles, Eagles. But, I think that I'm getting a little bit worn out, a little bit tired of all the Chiefs cheat or the NFL cheats, the NFL rigs things for the Chiefs. I think that as much as we want to villainize the Chiefs, I think you're going too far and you're overlooking the things the Chiefs do well. And I think it's a kind of lazy, convenient way to deflect from whatever ails your football team, whatever fan base we're talking about. But here in the case of the Broncos, I think it's better to look at the Chiefs in a way it's like, okay, what do they do? What do they do that's good? What do they do that makes them the championship contender they are? Because you're talking about the Broncos. We're not going to escape the Chiefs. We get them twice a year. The division goes through Kansas City. I would prefer to actually take a look at the Chiefs and say, hey, look, let's give them credit for the things they do well so that we can get to that level rather than just sitting back and throwing up our hands saying, it's rigged. It's rigged. All it is rigged. I just think that that's a lazy deflection away from what really is going on with your own football team. What do you think? I'm getting crushed for this take, by the way.
Yeah, careful, Mark. Careful here, because Mike is backtracked so much here. He's trying to spin it a different way. He is getting crushed.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, hey, listen, the Chiefs do a lot of things exceptionally well, and ultimately they have a quarterback that just makes plays. And, you look at critical moments, and this is where the Chiefs are better than anybody else in football. In critical moments, they seem to be able to make the critical play. So you look at, like at the end of the game in the AFC Championship game against the Bills, 3rd down and 10, they have an all-out blitz. They throw a bubble screen. The Bills throw a bubble screen into the all-out blitz. Karlaftis, who's their defensive end, peels off because he knows he's not going to get there. He reads the bubble screen, peels off, sprints, and makes the tackle for a 5-yard gain. If he takes one more step toward the quarterback, that is a 1st down and maybe goes to the house because they've got it blocked up well. So, again, a critical moment in a 0 blitz, you're bringing everybody, 7 different defenders. Your D-end reads what happens and peels off and makes a tackle. Man, that is smart that's smart football. That is smart coaching. They do that better than anybody else. That's what they do. And so you look at that situation. You look at the all-out, or you look at the zone blitz that they brought on 4th down. And, how they get an unblocked defender at the quarterback, and it makes him have to throw that Hail Mary up to the tight end who drops it. But they just have a sense about executing in critical moments, whether it's on offense, defense, or special teams. We've seen them block a couple of kicks. We saw them block the kick against the Broncos when the Broncos were lining up for the game-winning field goal. They figure out a way to make critical plays in critical moments, and that's where I'll give them a ton of credit.
Yeah, you got to give them credit for taking advantage of the situation, whatever it is. But to think that all of a sudden I can't complain about them or question a lot of things or a lot of calls that they get, and doesn't mean that I'm not looking here at the Broncos in their situation. I think we can do both. And that's what we do. We don't like the Chiefs here, Mike. We're not pulling for them. We're not, hey, look at their model franchise, because you said that. Look at their model franchise. We know how it's done, right? We're fine here. Go get yourself a coach, right, that's going to be here for a while. You got a good owner. Okay, check. Hopefully general manager can be here for a while now and get your young quarterback. Yeah. If you do all that, you have a chance to be successful, but that doesn't mean that we have to bow to the Kansas City Chiefs because of this and that. And I just think you went a little bit overboard. You got caught with your hand in the cookie jar. You did, and people are calling you out. And now all of a sudden you're backtracking a little bit.
How am I backtracking?
Because you're like, well, this is why, this is what, this is, hey, let us hate the Chiefs. We hate the Chiefs. We don't want them to win.
When did I say that I didn't want you to hate the Chiefs this week?
I don't care that, that they've done things the right way. We're not blinded by that. It just, you got caught.
Because
you got caught
the
slipping.
overwhelming narrative since the AFC Championship game is that the Chiefs have it rigged by the NFL. Nobody really wants to give the Chiefs any credit for the things that they do well.
I don't think that's the case. So I don't think that no one does. I think there's a lot of people that give them credit. What they've done is impressive. I don't care how many calls you get. Okay, I think you will have certain people out there. Maybe they have a loud voice. But overall, I think the Chiefs get a lot of credit. But yeah, certainly when you get the calls the way that they've been getting, that I think there is some people out there that view it as, hey, they're cheating for the Chiefs.
See, the analogy I used, Stink, was look at the Nuggets and the Lakers, okay? Because for years, Nugget fans were like, man, what are we going to do? The Lakers get all the calls. They get the superstar treatment. How are we going to ever overcome that? But guess what happened? In the process of beating the Lakers, 13 times in a row, even while they were kicking the Lakers' butts, the Lakers were still attempting more free throws. There was still the huge free throw discrepancy between the Lakers and the rest of the league. But guess what? The Nuggets overcame all that. Why? Because they were better. They were just better. They had better players. They played better together. They were better coached. And so I would just rather put the onus on, hey, let's get the Broncos. Let's push the Broncos. Let's challenge the Broncos to do the things to get to the Chiefs level and surpass them and maybe recognize the things that the Broncos need to do to get to the Chiefs level rather than just sitting back and saying, oh, the Chiefs are only here because it's rigged by the NFL. And saying all that, I hope the Eagles kick their butts. I hope the Eagles win by 4 touchdowns on Sunday. I do not want to see the Chiefs win.
Yeah, to your point, Mike. I mean, superstars are going to get calls. The Lakers get calls, like you mentioned. It's interesting. We had a bunch of tape from just kind of a bump tape, stuff that you put on television of the Chiefs versus Tampa Bay in that Super Bowl, and I had a couple of hits on Patrick Mahomes where he actually gets hit and gets hit in the head, and he's begging for flags. You know what he didn't get? Flags. You know why? Because the flags were going to Brady at that time, because Brady got the superstar treatment. And it's just interesting to see how those things change. So when you get good and, when you get good and you get enough stars and you get enough, credit, guess what happens? You start getting a few calls that go your way too, just like the Nuggets. So, yeah, I'm with you. Like, we got to be a better football team. That said, we should have had 2 victories against the Chiefs this year. We should have swept them. So
and why didn't they? Because when it mattered most,
right,
the Chiefs made the play, and the Broncos didn't. Had nothing to do with it being rigged against the Broncos. It was the Chiefs made the play and the Broncos didn't. That's the difference. Not that the NFL has everything rigged for the Chiefs. And I just think that too often we lose sight of that rather than focusing on what's real and what's legit.
Yeah, the NFL does have some things rigged for the Chiefs, so let's be honest.
So you feel it's rigged?
No, it's not rigged. I just feel like they get some calls in critical moments that because they have those superstars that bothers me.
Are you telling me that when you guys were on the 3-year run that you were on, or when the Broncos had it rolling here with Peyton Manning, you don't think that you guys were the beneficiaries of the close calls, the friendly whistle? You guys don't think you were? Because I guarantee you were.
Whoa.
Well, I guarantee it because you guys earned it. You earned it. That's what happens when you become a great player, a great team. You earn the right to get the friendly whistle.
I don't think that Elway got a lot of friendly whistles on different time, obviously, but even going back to my day, we always felt like because of Elway's ability to scramble and make a play late, he didn't get the same protection that quarterbacks that were more sitting ducks got. But Mahomes, I mean, if you look at Mahomes sideways, he gets a flag called against him.
All right.
Come on, those two flags in the divisional round were awful. Right? Against the Houston Texans, they were awful.
All right, we'll see what happens, but I desperately want to see the Chiefs lose, but I think that we have to stop making it all about how it's rigged for the Chiefs and maybe put a little bit more pressure on our own team to step